Doug, would you ever suggest to a believer to go alone and expel a demon, or this can be, a scary situation? Because I believe many of us heard of instances where a demonic person would be so physically strong they would be able to overcome several people. We also read about this with the sons of Sceva in the Book of Acts, and this does happen nowadays because the demons are still the same demons, especially if they're coming from the is especially if their nature is being dead spirits of the Nephilim, of the giants. They possess strength that is way stronger than ours. So, would you ever suggest that there is a place where a Christian can go alone, or would you suggest them to go in groups when it comes to expelling the demon?
I wouldn't go. No, don't go alone. I would take someone. It's teams of two. Teams of two. And when my case I mentioned earlier, during when the ghost hunters stirred some stuff up, and my wife and her friend went. I think she just brought one friend, and at one point, one of them was praying, and the other person was ministering, right? And so they're all both observing what's going on. It's don't go alone. Why would you go alone? It's take a friend. Yeah. Now, granted, if you're somewhere by yourself, something happens, then don't run. Don't be a coward. But I shouldn't say don't run. Don't be a coward. That's insulting. But you know, represent Jesus in that moment. But you know, don't go alone. And in that one situation, I'll tell you, whenever they calmed the situation down, they dealt with one of the spirits that was afflicting the woman. Then they set up an appointment, and they said, "All right, we'll deal with the rest of them." And they had an appointment. I mean, they're like, "Well, these two demons have been in this woman for years. You can do a couple more days." And so they, and then they had more experienced ministers, and they had an appointment, and they met with them, and on a different territory. We can look. We're not. We are not at the mercy of the dark powers. All right. So I had back when I was in youth ministry, and I had some kids who came, and they were playing with a spirit board. They actually made their own Ouija board. They made their own Ouija board. One, don't play at the Ouija board. Two, don't make your own. Oh my word. They made their own, and they unleashed something, and they knew they were in trouble. These two teenagers, and they came to our church to get freedom, and they wanted to be dealt with right then. Right then. I said, no, the time for ministry is the end of service. First, we have the sermon, we have our message, then we do worship, and then we have our prayer time. And they wanted like right away. They tried to take over the sermon, the service. Like, deal with us first. I'm like, no, we are not at their mercy. They're at our mercy. And at the appointed time, I took the two of them into a separate room because I wasn't creating a show that would create fear, and we dealt with them. We one of the spirits we dealt with right away. The other kid was a little bit more resistant. But anyway, ultimately they both came to the Lord. And so it was, but that's on our terms, not their terms, if that makes sense.